Hello and welcome to a video I've lovingly titled, "Oh shit, my shit stack doesn't work, please help." This is a video for people who are trying to connect their newly purchased stack of shit to their computer and are having problems with audio playback. So I'm going to be assuming that you've already connected your stuff, you have some minimal knowledge of how to connect it, and it's not working for whatever reason. First thing we're going to want to start off with is checking our connections. Alright, let's see if you guys can see that. Sweet. Let's zoom in. Alright, so on the bottom there, we've got mini USB through Schiit's own patented Unison USB going to a USB-A, which is connected to my computer. I've got the output from the MODI going into my Loki equalizer. And then from the Loki equalizer, let's see, output, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, going into the Magni preamp, and from the Magni amp to a set of headphones. Naturally, all the power cables are connected appropriately. One problem I've heard people having is, let's see if I can get down there real quick. Sweet, there we go. There's an issue with USB connections. I happen to own a laptop which only has USB-C ports, so I'm connecting to a splitter, and from the splitter to USB-A, which goes to the mini USB that connects to the MODI. Some people have issues with power connections and power regulations coming out of their USB ports, and that could be something that is an issue for you in terms of not enough power coming through the ports and not enough power to actually work your system, and the MODI can't operate the way it's supposed to. So that's something you should check. That's something where you just have to look up your computer specs and how much power can go through the ports, and then look up the MODI specs, see how much power that requires and needs to draw. Assuming you've got your connections right and you know everything can turn on, all that, next step is to go to Schiit's website for help. Let me see if I can zoom you guys in on that real quickly. There we go. The URL is schiit.com/guides. And that will be, frankly, a lot of help. Let's see, can you see the side menu there? Oh my god, I'm using a camcorder, by the way, so sorry for the slow and rather wonky usage of everything. I feel very old right now. Troubleshooting, this is what you're going to look at. You've got system problems, DAC problems, USB problems, amp problems. Read through all of that very carefully. This is all stuff from Schiit. If anyone's going to know what's wrong, it's going to be Schiit first, right? Okay, so you're going to want to read through that. I highly suggest reading the USB problems portion at the very least, because I'm going to assume that you know how to connect your system to itself. USB stuff also briefly goes over connections to computers and whatnot, as does the DAC section, because that's generally the issue that I see happening is from the MODI to your computer, so you want to check the DAC problems section of this website as well. Now, let's assume you've gone through all of that and you're still having issues. Okay, can I zoom out more, please? Nope. Okay. First thing you want to do is go to Control Panel, Hardware and Sound, Sound, and here you're going to get a list of all devices that are currently connected. Now here you should see your Schiit come up. Let me see if I can get you zoomed in on that. There you go. See how it says Schiit MODI 3E? That's the one being directly connected to the computer. That's what you want to see. If you don't see that, then that's a problem with your connection to your computer. You can skip all the audio interfacing issues, and that just means that your wired connections are having problems, or your computer is not reading the connection correctly, and that's something that this video won't help you with. Alright, so we see this, right? We know it's connected, we know the computer can register that it's there, but it's still not playing audio. First thing you're going to go to is Configure and Test. This will just give a generic test. It'll try to play audio through the system and see what happens. Now you can hear, just for reference, I happen to be using a pair of, oh, you cannot see that at all, I think. There we go. Audi's LCD 2C planar headphones. I love them, by the way. And they are working in this case. So there's going to be two scenarios that I'll go through, and this will be the first one, because this is the first issue that I encountered, actually. So you weren't able to play audio up until this point, and the test works. You hear a left and you hear a right, distinct left and right coming out of your headphones as well. You're like, all right, sweet, okay, we can play audio to this. Cool. make sure you have this checked. You're going to want to make sure that you're actually connecting your headphones and telling your computer that these are things that you can play audio through, and they're your front left and front right speakers. They're not surround speakers, they're not center speakers, etc. Hit next, and then you're going to hit finish. That will automatically apply everything. Sometimes you may encounter an issue where that apply button isn't actually grayed out and the window doesn't automatically close. Make sure you hit apply. If you don't hit apply, you'll encounter the same issue because no update will have been put in place. Alright, second problem we come through is when you go to this, you try to configure, you hit test, and, excuse my headphones, you don't actually hear anything coming through. I experienced this issue as well. I was like, what's going on? So I did some reading, and I can't remember if this came up in the reading that I was looking through shit forums and whatnot, or if I just found it on my own. Go to properties of the headphones, go to properties of the controller information. You get a new page. Make sure you are capable of changing the settings. You might need to be an administrator for that. I hope you're an administrator of your device. If not, contact your parents or whoever in control of your stuff. Alright, we're going to go to properties again. Window. Change settings. Oh shoot, that's why it wasn't coming up. There we go. You should have seen this first time. You won't have to do 2 rounds of that. Device is working properly. Good. So you know it's actually on. There's nothing janky going on inside the Modi itself. And it is still able to connect to your computer. Go to driver. Don't update the driver. Don't disable the device. Disabling the device just prevents your computer from connecting to it. And then you can re-enable it, so on and so forth. That's not helpful at all. In fact, that could cause some confusion in which you're trying to connect and don't see it on the list. What you want to do is totally uninstall. So you're going to uninstall all the drivers that automatically get downloaded when you connect the Modi to your computer and everything that tells the two how to interface to each other. Uninstall that device entirely. There you go. The device you are configuring has been removed. If you go back to your sound panel, you'll see that the Modi 3 is not listed. It's been removed from the list. Next thing you want to do, boom, disconnect them. If you really want to, you can also go into the back, hit the 2 levers on the Loki and Magni, or just the Magni if you don't have the Loki, and watch the light on the Loki to go off, or just give the Magni 5 seconds. Turn it back on, light comes back on. Plug the Modi back in. Light on the Modi comes on. Sweet. Come back to your sound, and you will see that the Modi is back. Nice. Now we're going to go through the first process again, which is configuring it, testing it. This time, you should get audio through. When I had the issue where this test didn't work, I went through the whole disconnecting process, uninstalling it, reinstalling it, and at this point, I was able to get audio playing through it again. So either way, you should eventually get to a point where you get to this page, you're able to test it, and the test works. If not, that isn't something I can help you with. You'll see, because I uninstalled it, all the information regarding what it originally was is not there anymore. So once again, make sure you check that box. Hit next. Click finish. And it's good to go. Let's see. Let's try and play some... Well, I don't need to play some music for you, but I will anyways. Just to verify that everything's working. I mean, as you guys heard earlier, my headphones were working the entire time. It happens to be that I got them correctly set up after going through all this stuff, and I haven't had to worry about it since. Let's see. What's a good playlist of mine? I will use my speakers testers playlist. Oh wait, I was already on that. You guys hear that? I'm trying to hold it up to my lavalier mic. Sweet. Okay, you guys can hear that. Nice. Anyways, there you go. Proof. It works. Yay! I'm promising you guys, I know my headphones were working the whole time this time around. Last time, they definitely weren't. In fact, when I was trying to play through Spotify, I know I don't have Tidal. The whole thing would like show 0 out of 0 at the bottom. and would say, unable to play this file, please try to import this file from your computer, etc., etc. So it was really having issues, and Spotify just couldn't get the audio out at all in any manner. Wouldn't even load the piece. And once you've reconnected it, you can see that everything plays through correctly. Once again, if you're still having issues with this after this video, at one of the steps that I was following and going through rather quickly, you encountered an issue where you couldn't proceed, maybe something was grayed out or something didn't pop up, I suggest returning to the wonderful Schiit forums. I will admit, I didn't find much help through these forums when I was having issues. For me, it was mostly just trying to test random things on my own and see what it works, and base it off my knowledge of what's gone wrong in the past with other electronic devices, whatnot. But you could probably find some stuff on here or other Schiit forums across the internet. It is, frankly, a group of people who may very well be experiencing the same problems. So, never hurts to check other people's experiences. Once again, remember to read over this stuff. If it, even if you've read it once and you went through stuff I suggested and it didn't work, maybe just read it through one more time, give it an even closer look. Maybe you're reading too quickly the first time, or maybe you just didn't think of something. Really, everything should be somewhere on here. If it's still not, maybe it's time for you to experiment. I mean, that's how it took me to get to this point. So, yeah, once again, sorry for the weird only 1080 video. This is an old camcorder that was lent to me by my college for this specifically. And hope this video helps.